Vice President J.D. Vance announced Tuesday or Wednesday, excuse me, that the Trump administration will temporarily halt some Medicaid funding to the state of Minnesota over fraud concerns. Vance made the announcement alongside Dr. Mehmet Oz, who currently serves as the administrator of the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services. Medicaid, the nation's health care safety net for low-income Americans, covers nearly 70 million people nationwide as of late 2025. It's a big number. We think about 330 million Americans, and 70 million of them are getting some form of Medicaid. It's also problematic that 70 million Americans need Medicaid, but that's another story for another time. Vance said the funding pause is intended to ensure that Minnesota, quote, takes its obligations seriously in safeguarding taxpayer dollars. He described the move as part of a broader crackdown on public benefits fraud. The action comes amid heightened scrutiny following allegations of fraud involving daycare centers operated by Somali residents living in Minneapolis. Those claims sparked a wider immigration enforcement push in the city. And of course, that enforcement push led to protests in the city. And of course, everything's been on fire for months now, and it's going to continue to be. Early this year, Oz faced backlash after posting a video alleging that billions of dollars in hospice and home care fraud were going on in Los Angeles. Now, in that video, he suggested, without any evidence, not a scintilla of proof, that much of the fraud was connected to what he called the Russian Armenian mafia, drawing criticism, of course, from California Democrats because it was complete BS. But anyway, Vance said in a Fox News interview that the DOJ and the Department of Treasury would also be involved in the investigation, including reviewing tax records. But critics, they note a bit of a contrast. During President Trump's first term, one of the largest welfare fraud scandals in the country unfolded somewhere, but it wasn't Chicago. It wasn't Illinois even. It wasn't Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. It wasn't Baltimore, Maryland. It wasn't any of these Democrat-run cities. No. It unfolded in Mississippi. Red state-ass, Republican-loving, Confederate flag flying Mississippi. And guess what? There wasn't a dollar of federal benefits frozen. Anyway, you know the scandal. It involved former NFL quarterback Brett Favre and the misuse of federal temporary assistance for needy families, or TANF funds between 2017 and 2019, or what we were talking about. And officials in Mississippi alleged that at least $77 million in welfare funds were improperly spent, or they were diverted. Now, some of those funds were directed toward building a volleyball stadium at Favre's alma mater and toward a pharmaceutical company. You got it. A company that Favre was invested in. Favre was never criminally charged, and he, of course, denies any wrongdoing, but he still remains a defendant in a civil lawsuit related to the funds. Also, a Russian citizen living in Detroit, no. Compton, Austin, Texas, allegedly helped a healthcare fraud scheme get orchestrated that billed Medicare billions of dollars for medical equipment, things like orthotic braces, glucose monitors, urinary catheters, and wound dressings that patients often didn't need, and in many cases, they never even got. Now, that's according to a U.S. District Court criminal complaint. Now, the Trump administration hasn't threatened to withhold any funding from Governor Abbott. He ain't threatened to take funding from anybody, not a dollar. If only there was a pattern we could see. If only there was something that prompted him to punish these people and not those people. There was just something we could put our finger on. It's partisan. It's racial. It plays on racial stuff, but it's not a race-based move per se. It's just, look, we're going to punish Democrats and not Republicans every chance we get. Follow it, y'all.